Wow.
That is from
With the mindset of it being replaced, or
yes, because it was deformed, there was no way it could function anymore.
okay.
Because if it's without if they take it away, they'll be able to remove the tumor. But after that, if they put it back, the tumor, the bone is already developed.
Okay.
And it looks big.
Yeah.
They put it back, I'll still look the same.
I see.
So they had to reconstruct another bone to put there.
That is Dr. Robinson's handwork.
Yes.
He did all this.
Yes, but
with other doctors.
Yes, the plastic surgery was done by one doctor called Dr. Fazhid Nahai.
Okay.
He was an Indian. Initially, it was his father that was supposed to do the surgery, but I learned he had a case that the person was totally deformed, so he had to attend to that. So it was his son that came to do the surgery.
Wow. The first two surgeries were done. You are supposed to proceed to the next surgery. What was the next surgery supposed to be for?
So, actually, the first surgery I did was a tissue biopsy.
Okay.
I should have said that. Where they just made a small incision scar at this part of my skull to take some of the tissue of the tumor to measure to see what type of tumor I had.
Okay.
Because before you can go to operate on the tumor, you have to know what type.
Okay.
They wanted to know whether it was cancer or non-cancerous. So it was when they went in, they realized that it wasn't cancerous, and they were shocked because they said that for the number of years I've had the tumor, it should have become cancer by now. And cancerous tumors are not painful because I didn't feel any pain.
Okay.
When they went in, it wasn't cancerous, it was just benign tumor. So that is very easy to remove if there's no complication.
Okay.
The person will survive.
Okay. After that,
then they went to do the actual removal of the tumor. So that was the second one.
Yes.
And then they removed the remaining half. So that was the third one.
Yes.
Then about 3-4 days or a week after the second surgery, the third surgery, fluid came to accumulate into the space where the bone has been removed.
Yes.
Because there was empty space. So fluid came to accumulate there.
And it was affecting you?
It could have caused an infection to the brain. So they had to go and take me back to the theater to go and drain that whole fluid out of that part of the brain.
The fourth section?
Yeah. So they took me for a fourth surgery to remove all the fluid, to drain all the fluid from the skull.
So was that the point where Dr. Robinson thought it wise to reconstruct another skull for you?
It was actually in his mind that once they've removed the tumor, they have to reconstruct.
Okay.
But you
have to go under the process.
And you have to get healed. Your bones and your system have to heal, because whenever they made an incision, the whole face will swell, and you have to be a little better before they can do another surgery.
Okay.
So the reconstruction also it took about 1 month. But before that 1 month could happen, that was when the fluid came to accumulate.
Okay.
So they had to take me back to the theater to drain the fluid. After every surgery, they give me some days to get better.
Okay.
They tell me what they want.
But you still stay at the hospital?
I think after the third surgery, after the fourth surgery,
you went
they made
to
me go home.
Yeah.
And they stay at home for a while before I came back to do the reconstruction.
Okay.
They came to replace the reconstructed skull. They made me go to the host family to stay there for a while. Yeah.
Were you feeling any pains or?
Yeah, there is severe pain because they made the incision from one end to another in such a way that if I have hair, the hair will cover the scar, so that it won't be visible to anybody. But with that, the human head, especially the African human head, is very hard. So if you just suture, it can tear. So they had to use staples.
Okay.
Just like the staples we put in book, we have surgical staples as well, where we clip your two skins together.
Seriously?
Yeah. And that's what they had to do because they were scared that it will open again. So after each surgery, they use staples in my head. And then after 1 week, 2 weeks, they go and remove all the staples. And then the next
allow it to heal.
The next surgery, they put another staples. Because without it, the whole thing will break apart and then your head will be opened.
Yeah.
And it's very painful because these staples that we even use in book, when it breaks your hand, see how painful it is. But this thing being in your head, but you have no option.
You're feeling the pain.
And you can't turn your body. When you are lying, you have to lie spine. If you lie and then maybe you lie to your left or to your right, it pinches your head. You feel a sharp pain as if the needles are pricking you. It was very, very painful. And after every surgery, you wake up with a very severe headache. I was bedridden.
Wow.
After the third surgery, after they went to drain out the fluid,
Yes.
I was stuck in bed for some time. I couldn't walk again. I couldn't write. I couldn't walk. So initially they thought maybe the brain was affected, but not knowing that because I've been in bed for a long
your
time,
muscles were tired.
so they had to now teach me how to walk again
Wow.
through physiotherapy. Then it took me about 1 to 2 months before I was able to.
Before the surgery, you did mention that Dr. Robinson took you on a tour.
Yes.
Like, is it something that is done to relieve the pressure? Let me say the kind of thoughts that might be going through your head after reading the consent and all that.
I don't know whether he does it for all his patients. I can't tell whether it is routine. But one thing I know that for me, he decided to do that to take my mind off the impending surgery. You know, when we first went there, the statement was that try and error.
Okay. They were not sure about.
No, they were not sure. I might or might not come back alive.
Wow.
I may or may not survive. That was the ideal. You know, upon reading all what was in the consent form, the final statement was that I may or may not survive.
Wow.
Because most people don't survive it. And it's a surgery that the type of tumor that he has never done before. The same as most of the very renowned neurosurgeons has not done before. So it's a try and error they are going to do. I might not survive. So he knew that. He says that every human brain has a way of surviving. If they think positive thoughts, they survive better than when they think
negative thoughts. Yeah.
So he thought that if I am excited and happy whilst I'm going to do the surgery, then the chances of me surviving will be very high. So it was his son's birthday. It was just a family gathering, but he decided that why don't they make it an outing and take me and my mother along?
Yes.
So they took me, he and his wife and his children, and then me and my mom. We went to all the very big
nice
places in Atlanta, the aquarium, the museums, the parks, like so many places I wouldn't remember.
So you were just happy.
I just forgot.
You even forgot you were going to do a surgery.
And you know one thing I love about that place is that people, when somebody sees you just once and they look at you, they take their
heads off. Yeah.
Nobody stares at you.
Like the way they did in Ghana.
I always have to cover my face with my book whenever I was going to school, when I'm coming out from school. Because if children sees me, they'll not just laugh. They'll laugh and go and call their friends to come and observe and also laugh as well.
Wow. Dr. Robinson taking you on a tour has been like a psychological relief before your surgery. Fine. After your fourth surgery, what brought about the feet and the seat surgery again?
Okay, so the first surgery was removing the first surgery was the fluid being accumulated at the part where there was no bone.
Yes.
So the feet and seat surgery were the placing the reconstructed skull.
Okay.
And then the plastic surgery.
By then they had already taken the tumor out.
Yes, the tumor was taken on the second surgery. After the tissue biopsy.
Okay.
The second surgery was removing half of the tumor.
Okay.
The third surgery was removing the remaining tumor. And then the fourth surgery was draining that fluid. It was a mixture of fluid and then blood that has accumulated there. Okay. And that when you leave it for a long time, it can cause infection to the brain.
Okay.
So they had to go and drain it out.
Yeah.
So after that, after I got better, some months later, they took me in to put in the reconstructed skull and then a plastic surgery to top up so that they wanted to try and make sure that they get my eye to that level that it was initially.
Okay.
Yeah. They plan to do about 2-3 plastic surgeries, but after the first plastic surgery, they decided that if they can do another surgery, they need to see the healing process so that they know what else they need to do.
Okay. After all these successful surgeries, how long did you stay in the US?
So a total of 6 months was how long I stayed there. And with the total of the 6 months, the surgery was done within I think 4 months.
Okay,
So the remaining
2 months was for your healing process,
yes,
so that they could be
they
sure
could monitor,
whatever they
yes,
did was okay before you came back to Ghana.
yes.
You came back to Ghana after 6 months. You didn't write BEC before going?
No, so when I came, even the group I was supposed to write it, they have already written.
Okay.
And the second group had even registered.
Wow.
But my dad did a wise decision.
Okay.
He somehow suspected I could be back by the time they were writing.
Okay.
So he told the school to register me. The school didn't want to agree because they said I hadn't been in class for almost a year. But the headmaster reminded them that before I left, I was actually supposed to be in Form 3.
Yes.
So my actual mate had already written BC.
Okay.
So that class, I've stayed there before. It's
so you were okay to write.
And before I came there, when they had tested me, I had like 90 in all their tests.
Okay.
So I was a very good student.
Okay.
They don't think it will affect them.
Okay. When you came back to school after your surgery, how was the reception?
It was just heartwarming. I mean, everybody was shocked because we didn't tell anybody that I was leaving. You know, Ghana, that's belief. You don't say anything. Everybody knew that I wasn't in Ghana. Like, they just knew I was not around. Where I was, nobody knew.
Okay.
They just saw me with my hair and my face different.
Okay.
I'm like, is that Dorothy?
Yeah.
I know, it's not hair. They're like, no, it does. Look at her smile. Same thing.
Your friends?
Yes. And people that were even scared of me when I first came to the school approached me. And that time, I was speaking like a white person. My speech was actually different. Even though I can switch it. But when I'm not talking to foreigners, I don't switch it because some people tell me they find it difficult to understand that accent. So I speak with a normal accent. But whenever I'm talking to a foreigner, I switch.
And the teachers?
But at that time, I couldn't switch. I didn't know I could switch. I was just speaking like them. Because there, all the English that I heard was that type of English.
Yes.
Except my mom speaking Chi, and then some of the church members we met there.
Okay.
The Ghanaian children that we met there were all speaking English.
Yes.
So every form of English I heard was a foreign accent.
So for like
within 3 months, I picked it
You
up.
had picked it?
Yes. Within 3 months, I was speaking like a white person.
Yeah.
A white person.
That's nice. So you registered for BEC, you wrote BEC, senior high school.
Yes.
Which senior high school?
So senior high school, I was contemplating between the Asantua and then Pentecost Senior High.
Okay.
Then I thought of something that for government school, you needed so many reports, medical reports, blah blah blah, for you to be able to accommodate you with such a, because it has not been more than 3 months after my surgery that I wrote BC pass and then I was supposed to. So I told my dad that I think I should go to our church university because it was private at that time. And because the church is aware of my condition.
That is the Pentecost Senior High.
Yes, it was Koduah. There's one at Kumasi, that was government, but I wanted a private one.
Okay.
So I went to Koduah at that time.
Okay.
Because I wanted a place where they knew everything about my condition and they wouldn't prejudice against me.
I get it.
Yes. So that was why I went there. And there, half of the people were pastors' children, imams' children, other churches' pastors, and then rich people.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like stigma. Rich people don't have time to gossip.
No. Everybody welcomed you. They accepted you.
So I never went through any form of stigma in senior high. I wouldn't lie.
That's nice.
Senior high was totally different from my previous years.
That's nice.
After senior high school, when I was about completing, I started having severe headaches.
Okay.
So it became very difficult for me to study. So I actually thought I was going to fail.
Wow.
But I didn't.
Writing Wasi?
Yes. But when I wrote the Wasi, you know Ghana and our mass. Mass came out faster.
Yeah.
So I joined, instead of writing of deck, I thought it best that, no, I want to join the school and change my whole grade.
Okay.
So I joined another school at Santa calling senior high.
Okay.
And I stayed in the class with the students. I actually stayed in the classroom to relearn.
Okay.
So I stayed in the classroom, learned with them, and then I wrote the
Wasi again.
So I came out with 8 B's.
Wow.
I actually was targeting 8 A's. So
that
I would just go and do medicine straight ahead.
Yeah.
But at that time, I was still having headaches, as I said.
So you were finding it difficult to study more.
Yes. I was finding it very difficult to study. So when I read for a long hours, then I
you
started
having headaches.
But I wasn't like that before.
Yeah.
So I realized that the surgery I'm now starting to have the effect of the surgery.
Okay.
So I had to take my time. So when it came out 8Bs, I asked around it. They told me that if I could go into medicine, the quickest place was to become a physician assistant.
Wow.
Yeah. And if after that I still want to get my doctorate, I could do the 4 years gap.
Yes.
And then get my doctorate as a medical doctor.
That's nice. Your dream was not shattered after all.
So even though I'm a physician assistant in Ghana or whichever part in the world, we do the same work as doctors. It's just that there's a pay difference because of the number of years we go to school, and there's a difference in the number of years as well.
Dr. Robinson and other doctors did a very good job, because from the pictures I saw, your face is looking much better. Like,
yeah,
it's just like a minor injury.
Yeah, people actually thought I had an accident.
People would like to actually see the development. If you can take your glasses off, I'll be happy.
Okay, I'll take it off. But I was supposed to have a second plastic surgery.
Okay.
So the first plastic surgery saw to the point that the eye pushed up, the jaw pushed up, and then they realized that after joining the two skulls, there was a little dent here.
Yeah.
So they took fat from my abdomen.
Okay.
And then pumped it there.
Yeah.
So when you touch this part of my skin, it's just skin.
Yeah.
But when you touch here, you feel this hardness.
That's the fat.
That's the fat.
Okay.
But one thing about the human body is that I was young at that time, so I'll still grow.
Yeah.
So whilst I'm growing, this whole side will grow.
Yeah.
This jaw will also grow.
Yeah.
But the implant will not grow.
Okay.
So what happens?
You'll be having
the
a bit.
Increasing.
Yeah.
So that was where a second plastic surgery was supposed to go on, so that now that I've grown and my head will not become big again. The bone is big now. This side and this side is big. This side will not become big. So the next plastic surgery,
they want to
either
shape
to do another
it.
reconstruction, or move take extra fat to fill the space to make sure that they cover the whole deviation. But I talked with my doctors and they explained to me that I've gone through a lot of surgeries and my brain is very tired. Going to do another plastic surgery requires that they go into the brain again, because they had to take the bone or they had to touch a nerve in the brain to be able to do a proper plastic surgery.
Yeah.
If that happens, it might affect my health or even affect my intelligence.
Yes.
So if I don't mind looking this way, why don't you forgo the plastic surgeries and then leave as it is? And at that time, my confidence level was very high, because if I could walk with how I was before, why can't I walk like this?
Better.
So I told them that I would prefer life to beauty. So long as people don't see me as ugly, I'm okay.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's just that when I was growing up, I started doubting my decision because the deviation started increasing. The deviation wasn't that severe before, but as I'm becoming fat, it's increasing the more. But I thought that life is better than beauty. So
that's nice. It's a good choice. It's a good choice after all, because you've been through a lot. You have nothing to lose being like this. You are still beautiful.
Thank you.
People will appreciate you for who you are. And being a physician assistant, you can also give to other people what Dr. Robinson and his other doctors were able to give to you to keep you alive. It's been a very difficult time for you, and you survived. We can only give thanks to God every day. Every day. Your story really touched me. That's why I had to come all the way to this place. I'm happy to meet you once again, Miss Dorothy.
It's my pleasure. I told God that I was going to make sure that if I survive, I will tell the whole world of His goodness. Not just to Christians. It's not everybody that can become a Christian.
Yes.
But there are those who believe that there is a God there.
Yes.
That gives hope. So people who don't have hope, my purpose is that I'm supposed to give them hope. In all this, my idea is that God didn't let me go through this for nothing. I believe God wanted to use me, who He knows that I can stand, to be able to encourage others as well. And that is why I decided that if I survive, whoever wants to know my story, I'll let them know. So that was what happened. So
All
Like
thanks to
anytime I'm
God.
contacted,
Yes.
I'm always ready
Sure.
to tell people my story.
All thanks to God.
Amen.
Okay, viewers, you all can see what God is able to do. Put your trust in Him. He will save you from your situations.